Alright, so we got Silo Simon here with Shrek Extra Large. Take it away, Silo.
Hey, how's it going, guys? So, we're live, right? You said?
Yep.
Okay, sweet. How's it going, guys? This is Shrek Extra Large. I'm gonna give just a brief explanation of the plot, because the plot is super important, and actually it's pretty nonsensical, but it's a good one. It's good. This game's great. You guys will love it. Anyway, so we're gonna be running no levels early. The difference between no levels early and any percent is that any percent only does 2 out of the 10 levels in the game, and it requires like a really inconsistent and hard trick to do it, so that's why I don't really run it in marathons much. But no levels early just is effectively a glitchless category, and it shows off all the levels and all the tech in every level, so that's pretty fun. Yeah, so the plot of this game is pretty much that Fiona has been kidnapped by an evil wizard named Merlin, and Shrek needs to do a bunch of stuff like platform around and beat up a bunch of enemies and all sorts of stuff so that he can make his way to fighting the wizard. So I'll explain a little bit more about the story along the way. It's not super important because a lot of it kind of doesn't really make any sense anyway, but yeah, so I'll start in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so we start the very first level. We make sure to mash the start to skip the cutscene there, and then we're running off into the tutorial level. Shrek did a ton of cardio earlier, so he's a speedy boy, and the game teaches you how to do the basic mechanics in the game, like how to wall kick off of walls. Wall kicks are pretty lenient. They're not really like Super Mario 64 wall kicks where you have to be at like a really precise angle or anything. You just have to be facing a wall that is wall kickable. But the most important mechanic in this game is the farting mechanic and the burping mechanic, which are both on the R button. And pretty much you can do some really crazy stuff with the farts and burps. You can do a lot of stuff like stun your enemies, and if you light your farts on fire, that will actually explode the farts. And you can use that for some interesting tech later that you guys will see. But pretty much if you jump out of the explosion of your fart, you can actually gain a bit of boosted height that we like to call a fart boost jump, and it's pretty useful. We're not going to use it quite yet. It's going to be kind of like halfway through the game or so that we start using it. But yeah, so this is the first level here. We do a pretty big skip here off of that little route there. That was the first try, which is really nice because that wall kick angle that I have to do off of that route is actually pretty precise, so it's really nice that we got that first try. So the basic gist of this game is that there are 4 quests per level, besides the tutorial level and the last level. The levels have 4 quests, and this is one of the first few quests we're doing. And pretty much we have to do a bunch of what are called good deeds in the game, and then doing these good deeds will get rid of this giant barrier that surrounds all of the levels we haven't unlocked yet. And, well, it'll get rid of the barrier like 1 level at a time pretty much. And yeah, but the fun thing about the barrier is that for any percent we actually just clip through the barrier, because all of the loading zones for every level is there. We just have to clip through it, and it's a pretty thick barrier, so it's very tough to do that. But so we did a bunch of stuff at the beginning of this level here, and now we're finishing up the level by grabbing all of the candy here for Little Red Riding Hood. Little Red Riding Hood's at the beginning of the level. You don't see her just because we skip a cutscene, but she tells us to go and gather up her candy that she lost throughout the level. And we're going to do some fancy wall kicking to skip some parts here. Hopefully I don't mess this up. Okay, good. So that wall kick is really nice. Oh, I did fall down here, though. That was a bad jump on my part. Alright. And then we're just gonna jump back up here. So yeah, falling down there is bad, but it's not too time-consuming, thankfully. So we just gather up the last piece of candy here, and then that is the 4th quest in this level. So there's kind of a lot going on, and I apologize if I don't cover everything, but there's a lot of cool stuff going on. This next level, we're gonna be yeeting a ton of enemies across the level, so hope you guys will enjoy. This would be, if there's any donations that they're needing to be read, this would be a good time, because there's a lot of yeeting going on here.
Yeah, I don't fault you for not being able to cover everything. There is a lot going on in this game. It's a lot to take in. I'd just like to plug we got some incentives coming up. Got Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 Glitch Exhibition. That'll be later on today. Got $20 of $150 for that incentive, so donate towards that, and we can see a very, very broken game get even more broken.
Apologies to interrupt you, but there must have been something completely wrong with the setup because you are extremely quiet.
Awesome, awesome.
Barely possible to hear you. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. Alright.
I guess I should be pretty loud.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can turn down your audio here. Sorry about that. I will do that right now. Pretend like I'm not stopping and doing stuff. I'm totally speedrunning this game. Alright, hopefully I turn down the input audio, or yeah, hopefully the output audio there is a little bit better balanced now. Alright, so we yeeted all of those eggs in the sheep, and now the next thing we need to do is we need to wake up all of these guards over here by wall kicking these bell towers, and when we wall kick these bell towers, we can actually just wall kick from one tower to another, and it'll count as 2 different wall kicks, which is really nice because that saves a good little bit of time. And then we need to finish up this level by turning around and farting on a cow. And we skip the there's a little tutorial there that it asks us if we want to learn how to use our power punch move that we just got. Thankfully we can just skip those though, so we don't watch any of the tutorials for the power-ups that we get, just because it's totally optional. So alright, so this next level here is Sweetsville Industrial Park. It's got a lot of interesting things going on, but the first thing that we need to do is we try to get hit by these NPCs so that it will start up a quest. Normally you're not supposed to be able to start that quest until you've finished a bunch of other quests, but the quest will always start as long as you get hit by an NPC, so if you do that up there, it saves a bit of time on us not having to go back all the way up to the top of the level there, pretty much. So we gather up 3 of these NPCs and we need to throw them into these hatches here. And these hatches, getting these throws into the hatch are pretty important, because if we miss them, they are pretty time consuming having to go and grab the NPCs again. Alright, and we're doing the first boss fight here. Normally we're supposed to do this boss fight with our power punch move, but you can actually just kick him out of the ring there, and it's a bit faster for the first 2. Nice, we messed up that throw. We're gonna have to wait here for that NPC to not be knocked out anymore. So this is one of the things that sucks about losing a throw, is you have to wait for the NPCs to either get back up or whatnot, but if you walk away from them, they'll walk into that little hatch there. Alright, and then we just need to take out these steam tubes here, and nice, none of them got repaired, so we didn't waste any time there. Again, there's a lot going on, so I apologize, I'm not covering literally everything that's going on here, because there's a lot of quests that we're kind of simultaneously doing, so explaining everything that is going on and the reason why we're doing it's kind of tough. But we're on to one of the hardest levels in the game, one of the longest ones, Molasses Sewers. And this is definitely totally molasses, I promise. It's not anything else, it's molasses. Anyway, so This level is guarded by a bunch of ice cream guards that are made out of ice cream, and we need to go around and beat them up and melt them by pretty much just hitting them with any fire source, which includes either our fire farts or fire breath, or if we just throw them into like a torch or something, that will melt them. So any of those methods work, and we use pretty much all of them, whichever ones are faster to use along the way. Since we don't always have chili pepper to have fire, we obviously will need to opt for using a torch sometimes instead. Alright, didn't quite make that fire there. If you're really fast, you can actually make it there with that tiny bit of chili pepper you still have left and fire breathe on that guy, instead of having to throw him up to the torch there. Alright, so we need to gather up some plumbers and put them into their workplaces, and that will that'll basically activate the next quest. There's some levels that you can't do some quests while like pretty much you have to do quests in a specific order, and other quests you can kind of just complete them in whatever order you want. This is one of the levels where it requires you to finish one quest for the next quest to start. So that's why we didn't just like finish this quest earlier. We did gather up all of the plumbers into their little workspaces though, to save a little bit of time, because if you just set them into their workplaces, they will stay in those places as long as you run out of the rooms. If you run out of any room, it'll pretty much deload whatever was in the previous room, and that can be pretty useful for keeping NPCs in specific spots that you want them to be in. So again, a lot going on here, but we're hitting a bunch of these steam valves, and what that does is like loosens them, so it shoots a bunch of steam all over these like icicles that are placed around the level, a bunch of snow and stuff. And what that does is effectively, nice, I missed that, dang it. Effectively what that does is it lets us go and fight the Ice Queen, because it melts the ice that blocks this little gateway here. So we're gonna grab some health and we're gonna fight the Ice Queen, and the way we fight the Ice Queen is we just need to stun lock her with our fire farts. So we're fighting the Ice Queen here. The Ice Queen is like a servant of Merlin, pretty much, and Merlin ends up double-crossing her. So once we beat her, she's gonna tell us how to get to Merlin's tower from here. Okay, I wasn't totally sure if I ended up getting that right. Alright, so we skip another tutorial there after we beat the Ice Queen, and we're on to the next level. Alright. So a lot going on again. We beat the Ice Queen. She tells us we need to head through another path of snow here and make our way through a bunch of castles to get to Merlin's castle. And this next level here is one of the shortest levels in the game. It is Lonely Mountain. Fun fact, this game is pretty much a port. It's kind of a port. It's not a direct port, but it is pretty much like a updated version of the Shrek game on Xbox, and it has 2 extra levels and a couple of different layouts for some other levels, but it plays pretty much the same. And yeah, this is one of the levels that are added to this game that aren't in the Xbox game. The other level that is added is the Enchanted Forest level, which we completed after the tutorial. But I think they're pretty nice, decent levels. This one's, again, pretty short, but covers a lot of strats and stuff, and we do a lot of stuff pretty quick, so... Alright, so the last thing we need to do in this level is we need to go around and punch a bunch of gnomes. Wait, let's see. So he just revived one of the gnomes. Now, where did that gnome that got revived go? Is he up there too? Okay. He got like clipped up to there. That's really interesting. So these gnomes can revive their friends, and if you don't punch them all quick enough, they'll revive their friends. But that was kind of interesting because I punched that one gnome through the wall. Like, it clipped through the wall, and then it like clipped up to the top there, which is it's nice that it didn't just fall out of bounds entirely, but that was kind of trippy. Anyway, so moving through the levels, we're coasting through. Again, sorry I'm not covering all the lore and stuff. It's kind of nonsensical anyway, as I said, but all right. So this next level is the creepy crypt. It's probably like the darkest level in the game, so I apologize if it's a little hard to see. I tried to adjust the lighting to be good, but anyway, so we start off this level by gathering up all these skeletons here. As you can tell, this game has a good amount of escort type quests. Everybody loves those, you know. So this one, we just kind of sit here and walk these skeletons up to their crypt, and it takes a couple seconds. These skeletons can be kind of interesting. They'll sometimes randomly one of the other skeletons will follow you instead of the one we want to follow us. The way they followed us there was good, but you can sometimes get really bad luck and end up having the skeletons try to follow you in a different order, and then sometimes the skeletons will also get like scared of you for a second. I'm pretty sure it's just kind of random how that happens, but I might be wrong. Anyway, so we do a bunch of stuff. We fart on a bunch of witches, you know, the usual, and we restart the level there so that it sends us back to the beginning of the level. And we started the third quest there in that basement area after we got teleported, and it's just faster if we restart the level so that it sends us out here, because we need to gather up 5 spiders and bring them to their big ass spider mother. It doesn't have a big ass, but it's a really big spider. So there's 3 of them out here, and then there's 2 of them in the basement area, and we just reset the level so that we can gather them all up in one group and bring them all to the mother at once, pretty much, instead of like bringing them all separately. Alright, so we drop the bug there, so those 3 spiders chill right there. I kick this spider off of the roof with a nice precise kick. If you are off on your angle with that kick, it can be really easy to mess up that kick and get those spider like stuck on another part of the roof, so that was a nice kick there. Awesome. And now we need to scare a bunch of bats. These bats are going to knock down a magical set of armor that Shrek is going to wear later. Oh dang, I didn't get that wall kick there. And what this magic set of armor does is it lets us resist dragon fire. And pretty much that means that we're not going to be able to get hurt by dragons later, which I guess in the lore perspective is important, although it's just kind of aesthetic, actually. It doesn't like really give you any extra powers or anything. Spoilers. Alright, so we're on to the first of 3 castles that we're gonna storm. And the first one is the Crown Prince Castle. This one's also a pretty short level. There's a good amount going on in it, though. It's a castle level with a bunch of jesters and a little prince dude that we need to escort back to his bedroom as the first quest, because the princess wants us to, and I'm not going to ask questions. That's, you know, their relationship is their business. I'm leaving. I'm out. I'm not getting involved. I'm an ogre. Okay, so we need to punch all of these jesters and bring them to the throne there, and that'll be important for a later quest. There's, again, 4 quests in every level, and we're going to get to the 4th quest in a bit, not too long from now. So what I'm doing right here is normally when you carry the prince, I'll show you guys, you move like really, really slowly with him like this, but if you mash X, you actually can keep your running speed and move a bit faster while still carrying the prince, which is really nice because it saves a lot of time. It takes quite a long time to get up these stairs if you don't do that, so that's pretty nice. Let's jump down here, and next quest we're gonna do is we need to arrest this evil prison guard and throw him into that prison cell there, and then the next quest we need to do is we need to free all of these prisoners by yeeting them out the window.
Get me out the window.
Nice. since we have to do some of those grabs kind of blind, it's really nice getting those first try. Alright, so now we just need to bring the last jester to this final area over here. Punch him so he gets knocked out, and then fart on him to start the final quest. And then since the other two jesters are already right here, we just need to fart on them, and then that's the end of that quest. Alright, so we're on to the 9th out of 10 levels, so we're getting close to the end, guys, I know. It's been quite a journey. All those good times we had playing through all the other 8 levels. Good times. Anyway, so...
It has been an experience, I gotta say.
It's pretty great. I wish there was not so much to cover in such a short amount of time, because obviously the lore in this game is something to really behold. You guys should certainly, if you ever get the chance to purchase this game, you gotta experience it for yourself. You know, it's good time. All right, so this is the reason why we got the magic suit of armor, is because there's these baby dragons that we need to lure to the kiddie pool over here, and we're actually going to throw this knight into the pool there and hope the second dragon just runs in by themselves. It kind of depends on the angle that you throw the knight, but it also depends on another factor that's kind of random. You guys will see that in a second. So we're gonna grab the third dragon here, and we're gonna actually light that other torch over there. There's a couple quests that we can do while we're finishing other quests, and one of the quests in this level is we need to light 5 torches, and that'll spawn a key that lets us go into the castle. So what ideally happens is that second dragon is supposed to just go in the pool by themselves, but they might get stuck on the staircase there if we're unlucky. If they decide to just jump in though, then that's really nice. Sometimes they'll just jump a bit higher than they normally do, and they'll like jump into the pool, which is nice. So, alright, so second to last quest in this level, we need to gather up these goldfish and also throw them into the kiddie pool to save them from drowning in air. And then we're gonna light up these last few torches. There's the 5th one over here. Nice, didn't mess up any of the platforming there. If we end up messing up the platforming there, it kind of sucks, because if you end up losing your chili pepper, you have to go back and get more, and that can be pretty time consuming. Alright, so we're gonna try and throw all... Nice, I totally messed that up already. I was gonna say, try and throw all of these goldfish into the pool without having to actually make our way to the pool. I need to hold the run button while I do that. Alright, well, we made one throw. Not amazing, but that's fine. Okay. Alright. So we need to gather up those fish. It's a bit faster if you just throw them to the pool instead of going over to the pool, obviously. Alright, so skip that cutscene there, and then we're going to make our way to the final boss of the Blue Dragon's Castle, and I bet you guys can't guess what the final boss is of the Blue Dragon's Castle. It's pretty marvelous. We're going to do some really fancy wall kicking here to get up through this area and skip a lot of platforming, and the final boss is another cow that we need to fart on. Easy.
That's shocking.
Alright, so we're on to the final level. I'm gonna try and YOLO this just for fun, because this YOLO strat's really fun. If I mess it up, it's not a big deal. But this is the final level, which is called Merlin's Dark Tower Fortress of Pure Evil, which is the actual level name, I swear to God. Alright, so we're needing to blow up 2 doors with these dynamite characters here. I missed the first throw there. If you are good with your throw and you light the first dynamite, like right away, you can actually just throw it at the door right after lighting it. That can be pretty nice, because if we do that, and we manage to throw the second dynamite in a really specific way, we can skip having to punch those fire guards. But the third door that we need to explode, we can explode with this special onion here, and that lets us explode doors. And then we need to fight the final boss, which is Merlin. And Merlin is pretty tough. If you take hits from Merlin, it can actually be pretty bad, so we're gonna try not to take too many hits. Merlin does have invincibility frames in between each hit, so for this 4th hit, since it's gonna take him a second to get be able to get hit anyway. I'm gonna grab some health, and then time is coming up right now.
Didn't see that coming.
Sorry about the short notice. I'm gonna let the audio play here really quick.
Oh, didn't see that coming.
Okay, and that is Shrek Extra Large. Again, sorry I didn't cover all the lore. I know I apologize for that like a million times, but there is a good amount going on. You guys didn't hear all of the lore or all the stuff that's going on. It's all kind of funny. I think this game is actually a pretty fun GameCube game if you guys are interested in picking up some weird jank stuff. It's a really fun speed game as well. Like, it's a genuinely pretty good speed game, despite it being a Shrek game. So definitely would recommend if you guys are looking for a good speed game to pick up. It's a fun one. And then yeah, we just sit here and Princess Fiona is saved. She doesn't say anything. There's no voice lines at all. She doesn't speak. There's no voice actor for Fiona. But yeah. If you guys were wondering where all the Shrek characters are in the game besides Fiona, I think this game was probably made around the same time as the movie, so they probably didn't have a total complete idea of what the game or what the movie was going to be, but a lot of like characters like Lord Farquaad and the dragon that Shrek fights in the movie, they're just stills at the beginning of the game. There's like still pictures, and that's all you see of them. And then Donkey is on the cover of the game, but he's absolutely nowhere in the game at all. So that's fun. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. This is a fun speed game, and yeah, I appreciate you guys having me. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of Midwest Speed Fest. There's a lot of really fun runs coming up here, so stay tuned.